Today we're talking about Kobudo and we're talking about the Sai. The Sai is a very popular martial art weapon, and it's used in lots of different schools use the Sai, but this is a very flexible weapon. It has a history to it. You know, the Sai is basically, has two prongs. We call it an iron fork, and it has the top here. The top here is typically blunt. It was traditionally used to punch with or strike by police officers in Okinawa, and then these here are like to grab or to hook the wrist to disarm an attacker or to take him under arrest, to take him back to jail. So that was different purposes of the Sai. We could thrust with it, we could punch with it, we can block as well with it. The Sai is a very fluid weapon, and typically it would be used for weapon versus weapon. You would never have Sai versus Sai, but Sai versus the bow or Sai versus a sword. And there's different disarms with the sword as well, with the Sai. In Japan, they have a similar weapon that the police officers carry, and you just have one of these missing. And this is called a Jutte. It sounds kind of like the kata jite, but it's J-U-T-T-E, Jutte. And it's very similar purposes. Now the Sai, or the weapons, demonstrate the hierarchy of the status of the police officer in Okinawa and Japan. The lower ranking officers typically carried a staff, and the higher ranking officers usually had Sai, or I guess maybe even both. But basically the Sai or the staff determine their rank, because the weapons, Sai, the steel that it takes to make the Sai are very hard to come by, and it was for the more influential, wealthy officers who could afford these type of weapons in Okinawa. So these were not as common as the bow, which is obviously more plentiful with all the wood they had to make the staff from. So the Sai is a great effective weapon. We learn many kata with the Sai as well in self-defense. All the Okinawan Kobudo weapons still have a practical application today. You'll still see ways you can use the different applications, whether you're using a Sai or a purse, or you know, a rake. If you're in your yard, you still have like a staff or a broom. You still have different applications for these weapons, even in modern self-defense today. Even though we don't walk around with our Sai or our bow, they still are very practical to learn. And just for nothing else, the educational part of it and the enjoyment as you connect the dots for the history of your karate training. We'll see you in class.